And who will England, the defending champions, select in their 15 to defend their title? Welcome to the shiny side. I'm your host, Faraz, and we have with us from Canada, Faraz Qasim. Faraz, how's it going?
Very good, Faraz. All good.
And we have from later in the evening in Bahrain, Imran Aslam. How's it going, Imran?
I'm good, Faraz. How are you?
I'm
Happy
very
to be
well.
back on the show after a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, Imran. So the T20 World Cup is about just over 30 days away, but the World Cup squads are being announced. And by the time these come out, they're probably hours away from the squad being announced. We're going to look at England, who of course won the last one, and see what kind of squad they can put together to defend this. So the rules of the game are that I will list first a number of, I think, 6 or 7 batsmen, 6 or 7 players who I think there's no debate about. If you guys think they're worth discussing, then we bring them up. Otherwise, we think they're done and we put them down, and then we discuss the remaining spots, right? So to kick things off, the structure is going to be, there's going to be at least 7 batsmen, includes the wicket keepers, then there'll be at least 2 spinners, and then there'll be at least 4 quicks. And then the remaining spot we'll fill depending on what we have. So if you look at the batsmen who I think are sure shot, there's Butler, there's Salt, there's Bairstow, and there's Harry Brook. Any debates? Do either of you guys think they need a discussion, or are they happy to have them down?
That was my exact top 4, so yeah.
Brilliant. The only spinner who's a definite for me is Adil Rashid. Again, no debate about that.
Makes sense.
And then the assumption here is that Archer is apparently fit. So he hasn't played an international game in 2 years, but he will be available for this tournament. So given that he's available, I have 3 quicks: Archer, Wood, and Sam Curran, who I think are definite in the squad. Any conversation there?
No, I was just looking at my squad: Sam Curran, Wilkes, Archer, Wood. So yeah, you got 3 out of those. Okay.
Yeah. Imran,
yeah.
Happy with that?
Yeah. So I think Archer, given that he has not played any cricket for a while, they might want to see how he goes in the Pakistan series and then take a call. So maybe he will be in the provisional squad, or maybe he will not be in the provisional squad and they look to change him in. I'm not sure about that one.
I was actually saying for us before we started that in 2019, they did have him in the provisional squad for the ODI World Cup. He played against us, and then they brought him in the end. This time, it may be the other way around, where when they play him against us, they may realize he's not match fit, and they may have to take him out. But if he's picked, that is. But you're right. Like it's a definite question mark. No matter who you are, if you haven't played international cricket in 2 years, it's not that straightforward.
Yeah.
So to get things started, so we have 4 batsmen already. We have, like I said, we have Butler, Salt, Bairstow, Brook, which is for us is top 4 as well. We need about at least 3 more. So I'm going to list out a few names. There's Ben Duckett, who is generally been around the test side, of course, but not so much in the ODI side, in the T20 side. There's Will Jacks, who's been the upcoming all-rounder, but he recently scored a 40-ball 100 for the RCB a couple of days ago and won them a high-scoring game. There's Jason Roy, still in the mix, I guess. There's Liam Livingston. There's David Malan. I mean, you guys are happy to add your own names. Faraz, you want to go first? Who would you pick as your 3?
Yeah, before we start, when you were introducing the show, you said they were the defending champions. There have been so many World Cups, I actually forgot they're the defending champions, because we're having a World Cup every year. So
I was actually going to say defending champions in both formats. Then I realized that they're not actually ODI champs anymore. So,
yeah, but they're not. I know. That's the thing. There's so many, because of the whole COVID thing, it got pushed through. Everything is happening every year, so it's hard to keep track. After this World Cup, I think we'll take a break. But then this Champions Trophy. Anyways, Will Jacks. Will Jacks is somebody. So I told you guys, I'm sure you guys do too. I spend a lot of time on podcasts, listening to cricket podcasts, football podcasts. So Will Jacks is somebody English people have been talking about for a while and boasting about him. And I had not seen what they were talking about. So I had not seen him do. And yesterday I was going to my cricket game and I was watching it while I was on my way, and I was watching Will Jacks, and then he exploded. And what he did yesterday, but anything done these days in the IPL has to be taken with a pinch of salt. So it was good, and he bowls as well. So I think Will Jacks, because if it comes down to Jacks against Malan, I would take Jacks because we know what Malan has done and what can do. But yeah, Jacks is a great call.
So Jacks is 1 and 2 more slots, I guess.
2 more slots. So I've put Liam Livingston in my playing 11, even though he's not been doing a lot. Even in I think IPL, maybe he's not been doing so well.
He's been a bit disappointing in the IPL this time.
Yes, but the thing is, he comes with those offies and leggies, and he does well in the field. So he's a good package. And for a number five or number six, I think he's pretty good for number five. So Liam Livingston is my pick as well in the team. And then what else? What other options?
Well,
Roy, is he still in the mix though?
I mean, by mix, I mean he hasn't retired. They dropped him from the maybe a series or two ago. So there's Ben Duckett, there's David Malan. I mean, there's anybody else you could think of.
I'm a big fan of Duckett. I'm a big fan of Duckett, so I would definitely have him. तुम लोगों को याद होगा, like when was this? Couple of years ago when he came to Pakistan or played for Pakistan,
Yeah.
he
That
smashed us
70-20
around so
series. Yeah.
much.
So the thing with him is
So-
I think his strength is how well he picks up length and sweeps and reverse sweeps everything. And in the West Indies, where tracks are going to be a bit slow, I feel that could actually work quite well there. So
and somebody who has a reputation in Test cricket of never leaving the ball.
Yeah.
So he's known for the aggression they show. So I think a Duckett is, and plus he's mentally very tough. I feel like, so
Yeah.
he's a great call as well.
So that's Faraz's three. Imran, do you have a view on who your three will be?
So I think Livingston for me for sure comes in, not just because of his batting, his six hitting prowess, but also what he brings with the ball, his offies, leggies. He can be very handy. So I think Livingston comes in. I think I would pick Malan. I was thinking, actually, pitches tend to be slow in West Indies, especially as we go on later in the tournament. It's a long tournament with a bunch of teams in the first round, so it's going to be a long tournament. We will see wear and tear on the pitches, and pitches will slow down. Spin will come into the picture, and I think Malan is the kind of player who can be very handy on those kind of surfaces. So I would have Malan there, and the third pick, I think either of Jacks or Duckett. I would probably go with Duckett. So Livingston, Malan, and Duckett.
So Imran, you've taken basically you two have the same two, but you have Imran, you've taken Malan
over...
instead of Jacks, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
I'm going
so
more for the experience and as well, right?
I think so. The way this works is that three of us here. So if two of us opt for one, then we just go with that, right? So that's the majority vote. So I think I would probably lean towards what Faraz said. I feel like Will Jacks is an exceptional talent, and I feel like Malan's time is kind of done. Also, I just realized, by the way, the other six batsmen we've picked, other than Malan, Duckett's the only left-hander. England loves that left-right-hand combination. There's no Morgan now. There's no Stokes this time around. So I feel like the only reason I feel like they may think of putting Malan in now is the left hand, but I feel like they feel like Jackson's time
There's
is
also
now.
Faris arguing. I mean, not for the fact of arguing against myself. What Imran was saying as well. David Malan is when Imran was talking, I was looking at the squad. David Malan is the only player from the 15 I have, is the only player who actually can. I mean, they're all bashers. So if they need somebody to actually anchor the innings, Imran's right. He's the only one who can stabilize. But yeah, again, we don't know.
But so in your case, Faraz, who would you take out then from your three if you put Malan back in?
Oh shit.
It's a tough one.
I don't know. You know what? I'd rather go with Duckett. Duckett has the ability to build the innings as well because he's established test
he's a test
players
opener,
himself. Yeah. So I would say I would still, because as you said, David Malan's time has come and he's been there for a while. So if there was a call to be made, I would take Malan out. Yes.
So
In favor of
my vote is
Jacks.
again not to go for Milan. So I guess majority wise we end up with Butler, Salt, Bairstow, Brook, Will Jacks, Livingston, Duckett as a batsman. I think just one more thing, guys. We will have an extra spot to add in the end, so we can then see what's missing in the squad and add one once we. Well, if they are the batsmen now, Imran, I'll come to you for the quicks first.
Just one question before we go on. So, do we have a backup keeper here?
Well, Butler is there. We have three keepers.
Oh yeah, we have Bairstow and Butler.
Salt, we already have three keepers. Yeah,
we have.
You want a fourth one, so we can do something.
No. Butler, Bairstow. Yeah, I was forgetting Bairstow when I was thinking of the keepers. Yeah.
So when we did the India review, we actually took the squad with one keeper only. By the way, we did the India one earlier. So interesting. Okay, so Imran, I'll come to you for the quicks now. So there's Archer, Wood, and Sam Curran are already in there. We need at least one more. There's Reece Topley, who's been a pretty regular guy. There's Chris Wokes. Gus Atkinson hasn't really played much, but even though he's been on the fringe, there's Tamal Mills, who's still kind of playing the leagues all around, and there's Chris Jordan now, I guess. So who would you go for?
I think I would definitely have Wokes in there, right? I mean, Wokes, again, not just as a quick, but also his all-round abilities. England love to bat deep. They like packing their side with all-rounders batting all the way down to 9,
That's true.
10, even 11 at times. So I think Wokes has got to be there. I still have a question mark on Archer, depending on how he goes. You'll have to see. So either of Jordan or Archer can probably take the last spot, but I think Wokes comes
In
in.
fact,
for
so
sure.
the players we have right now, I think we have 7 batsmen, 2 spinners, and that's 9 and 4. We have 13, right? I feel like they probably need a 5th fast bowler. If they are pitching Archer, they probably need a 5th bowler as well, right? Because they need the insurance, I imagine. So they would probably go with that. So you would saying you would go with Wokes. Faraz, your call on that?
Yeah, considering it's a T20 event, I would say Topley's been doing really well in T20s, and pitches have to be taken into account as well, right?
Yeah.
So even though again he's been playing on different surfaces, but Topley I think has those cutters and his ability to actually mold him, make use of the conditions better than Vokes has never. I mean, Vokes has always been one of those people who's been overshadowed because he was an all-rounder and Ben Stokes was basically playing most of his career, so he was always out of the team. So he's never been able to. He's always been there on the edges. He's never been able to be the man. So I don't know. Cool. I like Vokes, but if it's a call between him and Topley, I'll take
I think
Topley.
I would go with that also. I feel like, I guess the other question is that I think Topley probably can also bowl in multiple phases of the innings, while Vokes is really strong in the power play. I'm not sure how strong he's been later on.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Archer Wood are pretty strong in the middle. Archer can bowl at the death as well. Sam Curran is effectively bowled in the second half. So I guess I would go with Topley. Before we move, okay, so we now have 4 quicks. We have 7 batsmen. Now, who's our second spinner here? So there's actually, we go for 3 spinners, sorry. So who's our third spinner? So we have Adil Rashid. Then there's Moeen Ali, there's Rehan Ahmed, and there's Tom Hartley. Faraz, you want to go first?
Yeah, मैं तो जिसको चाह रहा था, he's not even in reckoning. I don't even remember his name. I don't know if you guys.
You can add his name. You can add any name if you want.
Yeah, this kid. तुम लोगों ने देखा होगा. His name. I don't. I think he's a Pakistani or Asian kid.
Was he
I saw him.
Bashir
under
or
19
something?
No, he was in the under-19 World Cup, and he was a leg spinner, and he is.
I think he's Rehan Ahmed's
phenomenal.
brother, by the way, because his brother was also
Is
in the
he?
under-19 squad.
Oh, really?
I don't know,
Yeah.
but that guy is phenomenal. Let's say I like Rehan, but I feel like Rehan is a little I'm probably a little too raw or not.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not ready yet. He's good. They've played him in tests. He has a long way to go. Like that kid I'm talking about, he was more of the, I would say, not probably not a fair comparison. Like the trajectory was more Rashid Khan, like a little quicker and more flatter and well suited to the T20 game. I don't. Again, his name skips me, but he's really good. But realistically, if you have to think about it, yeah, Liam Livingston, they do consider him as a bowler. Moeen Ali,
Yeah.
bowler. Adil Rashid, bowler. So I don't think they need another spinner after that.
So you're saying they will go with Moeen Ali? So again, Moeen Ali is also on the list here, right? We haven't got Moeen Ali yet. So other than Adil Rashid, we have Moeen Ali, we have Rehan, we have Tom Hartley. You think Moeen will be in the squad?
100%.
Okay, so Moeen will be in, and then also keep in mind Will Jacks also bowls off spin. I'm not sure how good he is, but he bowls off spin as well.
He's decent. He's pretty decent. Is Tom Hartley in the picture?
Well, Tom Hartley's also in the rec playing because I think he has a decent record in the 100, and he's more of I think he's a left arm angle. So I feel like even if Rehan Ahmed was in the squad, he wouldn't get a game with Adil Rashid in. But Tom Hartley is slow left arm. He's got good control. He plays a lot of white ball domestically. So he's probably in the extended. I feel like
he can bat.
And he can bat. Yeah, we saw that in against India. So I guess would you have Tom Hartley for us, or are you going to stick to 2?
If there's an option, even though I love Moeen, if there's an option between, because you made a very good argument of the left armor and his release point and the whole thing. So I think that's a good thing to have in the team. Plus he can bat decently. So I would say, I mean, it's a harsh call, but if it's between him and Moeen Ali,
you can take both him. To be honest. You need 3 spinners, right? I mean, you can take 3 spinners.
Hold on, let me just see. So we have 1, 2,
we have
3,
Adil already.
4, 5. So we have Adil, and then we have Hartley, and then Moeen Ali. Yeah, if we can fit, both of them together in this 15, I think that'd be a good call. Moeen plus Hartley.
Imran, do you have a view on the spinners? Do you think they will?
So I think I'd go with Rashid. I would go with Rashid and Moeen, and then obviously you have Livingston in there already, who's more than a decent spin option. So I think you're covered with 3 spinners, and then we'd probably look to see where you use the last remaining slot. I think Hartley, I mean, fine, he's seen a bit of him, but I think too inexperienced to put him out there in a World Cup for now, in my mind at least.
Okay, interesting. So what? I guess I get the veto vote again. I would probably. I mean, it's a good one, right? Because we also have. I also feel like Moeen might struggle to make to the 11 purely because they have Will Jacks will probably get preference over him as a batsman. So I think Moeen is going to be there as a bit of a backup. I mean, I actually feel like Moeen Ali's, as they look at this, Moeen Ali's spot could be under threat for that reason because given how, and even in the squad, but they probably will go with him for one last time. I would probably put Tom Hartley in as well, by the way. So I think I'm going to take the third spinner because these conditions are in the West Indies and they probably want as many options as possible, especially those who can bat. So, in fact, if anything, Faraz, the more I think about it, I feel like Tom Hartley is likely to get a game before Moeen Ali at this point, given that Will Jackson.
You do, but you're not taking into account England's obsession of Moeen Ali. I don't know. They have this weird, and plus, in a lot of podcasts, I've heard this as well. I maybe true, maybe not. They keep him around just to keep Adil happy because they're two peas in a pod. And Adil is so integral to their team, so they keep him around so that both of them stay happy. So again, Moeen is a very good player. Moeen is a very big. I think just in my cricket, he's one of the biggest underachievers. I thought he had a lot of talent. He looked like a poor man's Saeed Anwar when he used to bat in his younger days. So he is a big underachiever, and but I still don't understand England's obsession with Moeen Ali because he doesn't consistently deliver. He consistently disappoints. But yeah, he still be. Trust me, he will be there.
So we have 14 now.
He will be there, and I think Moeen, I would keep Moeen, right? Because he brings a lot of things to the mix, right? He's obviously has the off spinner. He brings in a left-hander in your batting lineup. He brings in someone who can bat anywhere from 1 to 8, right? So depending on how you need, where you need him. Obviously, they will not put him into top 4, but theoretically, he can bat pretty much anywhere you need him to bat. So he brings a lot, I think, to the mix.
And he's also a very good spin hitter. Probably as good as anybody else in the side. So we have our 14 now. So we have Butler, Salt, Bairstow, Brooke, Will Jacks, Livingston, Duckett. Then we have Adil Rashid, Moeen, and Tom Hartley. And then we have Archer, Wood, Sam Curran, and Topley. Now we have one more spot. We could go with, well, the keeping is covered for sure. We don't need more spinners. So we can either go with an extra batsman in a Milan or something, or we can go with the quick. So I think this is the only question I'll probably answer before you. I would be inclined to go towards an extra quick, given that Archer's already in the squad and we probably need a bit of backup. Now we have Archer, Wood, Curran, and Topley. I guess the options are Wokes and Chris Jordan. I guess they're more realistic options than Timal Mills here. It's a tricky one. They both can bat a bit. Again, Jordan is much better in the second half of the innings. Wokes is probably more with the power play. I would imagine they would like to go with Jordan, but my pick would probably be Wokes here. That's what I would say, because I feel like at the moment, if you also have Archer and you have Sam Curran, then I think you're kind of taken care of in the death. So I think Wokes also probably is a better bat to have. So I would go with Wokes, but Faraz, your view, who would you go with the 15th spot, fifth bowler?
Yeah, I think you did mention Timal Mills, and he somehow ends up making it into the squad, even if, say, a couple of weeks before the tournament, he's nowhere to be seen. And there's another reason. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that Mills and who else? Mills and Wood have a contract with BBC. They do this podcast.
Yes,
I don't know if you've come on it. It's a brilliant podcast. So if Mills doesn't go, they might not be able to do the podcast. So I really hope he goes, because that podcast is one of a kind. So just for that purpose, I want Mills to be part of the squad so that they can do this behind the scenes. What's it called? Good speed for radio.
Good pace for radio. Good pace for radio.
So yeah.
Okay, so
good
Mills.
So yeah, just for that fact,
interesting word, Imran.
And despite what he's been through, he's been injured a lot. He still clocks 145, 140 easily.
And he's the only England bowler to win the PSL this year. He was in the Islamabad squad. Yes. Imran?
I think I would go with Wokes, Faris. I think I would go with Wokes. Like I said before, he brings a lot with the bat as well, and can be very good up front with the ball, especially in the power play. And like you said, they have the back end covered quite well. So I'd go with Wokes.
Okay, good. So I guess we have a 15. I will quickly ask you guys to share your 11. So the 15 is, for the record, are Butler, Salt, Bairstow, Brooke, Will Jacks, Livingston, Duckett. Then we have Adil, Moin, Tom Hartley. We have Archer, Wood, Sam Curran, Topley, Wokes. So Imran, you want to go first with your 11?
Yeah, so I think for the batting, the top four are pretty obvious, right? So you would go with Bairstow, Butler, Salt, Butler, Salt,
Brooke.
who's and Brooke, obviously.
Then there's Will
I think
Jacks, Livingston,
yeah,
Duckett.
so I think it's a toss-up between for the fifth slot. Well, you have two more batsmen probably coming in, right? So you will have probably, I think they would pick, they would go with Livingston again because of what he brings with the ball, and then either of, I think I'd go with Duckett. You bring in an extra left-hander there as well. So that'd be the top six. Then I would want to play two spinners. So you play Adil for sure, yes, and then you play one more. You either play Moin or you play Hartley. So one of those two, depending on, and then for the bowlers, I think Wood, Archer, and the third could be rotated between Vokes, Jordan, Mills, whoever we decide with.
Okay,
So I think at least 8 or 9 are pretty set, and then the 2 or 3 slots are probably a bit up for rotation.
Faraz, yours scored.
It's
Your
not
11,
very
actually.
different, so I'm gonna read it off. When you sent the link, I was looking at the video the last show we did, and I kept looking this one. I said, "Wow!" Then I realized I had the squads here, and I was not even looking at you or the camera. So
Yeah.
I have the squad on this screen. So Salt, Butler, Brooke, Bairstow, top 4. Livingston, number 5. Moeen, as I said, I know he will play number 6. Moeen, number 7, the most overrated Englishman in the history, Sam Curran. Number 8, Chris Vokes. Number 9, Archer, again, given the availability. Number 10, Wood. Number 11, Adil Rashid. Yeah, that's
interesting. I guess my 11, just to wrap up, before we wrap up, by the way, would be I would have Butler, Salt opening. I would have Will Jacks at 3, Bairstow at 4, Brooke at 5. Probably I think given that it's 6, I would have Ben Duckett as a backup with top 5, and at 6 I would have Livingston to start with, and then I would have who would I have? So I would have spinners would be Adil and Hartley. Not I will leave Moin out, so that would be 7 and 8, and then I would have the bowlers actually tricky, right? Because Wood, Archer, and Topley perhaps, and I would leave Sam Curran out. I think with Topley in, I would probably. It's a tricky one, right? Because who would bowl at what stage in the innings? But I would probably, yeah, I think I would take Topley, Archer, and Wood, and leave Sam Curran and Vokes out of the 11. Okay, good stuff, guys. For those of you watching, by the way, if you have a view on what you think their 15 or 11 should be, please leave it in the comments.
Before we go, I was just thinking about it. I talk about the obsession of Moeen Ali. I was thinking about that video where Owen Morgan said that before the final, Moeen said, "Allah is with us." I think that's the reason. There's a good chance they ended up winning the World Cup. They won the T20 World Cup. That's the reason they brought him back in the Ashes. So I think that's one of the reasons they want Moeen Ali to have Allah on their side.
They've never won a World Cup without Allah on their side. So let's see. That's why they keep not keep topping him.
Yeah.
But good stuff, guys. Thank you for being on.
Always a pleasure.
And we'll be back soon with a few more previews of the upcoming scores. In the meantime, stay tuned.